Hey there, G's here, and welcome back to the Mega Man Zero 2 Perfect Runs. Today, let's go ahead and rescue those people we left high and dry in the desert. Or not the desert, the forest. And take on... Hyleg Ourobockle. That sure is a name. Some scout soldiers went to the forest to investigate, but have not returned yet, and everybody's busy. They have better things to do than save lives. Since we left him there long enough, let's go ahead and lend him a hand now. Hyleg Ourobockle. I think that's supposed to be like Ouroboros or something, but really, what? The Zero series has some very silly names, and I don't think that's even as bad as it gets. It's close, though. Hey, there's someone already. He was sent here to investigate something called a baby elf, but encountered the Neo-Arcadian army. Apparently, these days the Neo-Arcadian army is nothing but a bunch of rogue robot bees. That's unfortunate. You can probably deal with them with the saber as well, but I'm more familiar with using the buster. Either way, equip the chain rod, because it'll be seen a lot of use in this level. And here are the bees in question now. Saranet. They're yellow and only take one hit to kill, and they just fly in circles until they swoop at zero. These plants with the pink jaws are Poplin. They're invincible, but only the pink jaw parts hurt you. When Zero gets close enough, they snap those jaws up into the air. Anytime you're near soft ground, watch out for molecules trying to pop in to score a cheap hit. They're very annoying. And that's a bee of a different color. It exploded. What has science done? That was a bombnet. A hornet with a bomb. They don't swoop at you like Saranets will, but they're normally surrounded by a bunch of Saranets anyway. If you shoot them in the bomb, it'll explode and take out whatever enemies, usually Saranets, are around it. If you shoot it in the head, the bomb will drop to the ground and take out any enemies below, like that one for Pantheon Hammer. Those are the pink guys with the shields. They're a lot like Hogamers, who are a lot like Sniper Joes. You can't jump on or wall jump on these platforms, you can only attach to them with a chain rod, making that the only way across these pits. This stage is basically where the game makes sure you know all the cool stuff you can do with the chain rod. Cool stuff such as flinging Pantheon Hammer shields away. Oh yeah. That's pretty much the best way to deal with those enemies. This next one is in a tricky position, but stand on the left side of this platform, try and time it just right to steal that shield, and then stay here out of its range and pepper it with shots until it dies. Try not to jump needlessly when it's about to attack, because if you're up too high at too high of an angle, it might actually throw the ball into you rather than just short. While you're attached to an enemy with a chain rod, it can't move, and if you get close enough to a Pantheon Hammer, you can stick the spear tip straight through its shield. I do love how completely this chain rod shuts these guys down. It stops their attacks, it takes their defense away. It's beautiful. Wait for that mace ball to retract, hang a left, it usually is safe, even though it's a bit of a blind drop. And on to the mid-boss, Pinophile. Yep, Pinophile. Hyleg Ourobockle made more sense. It has 3 attacks, and it shows which it does based on its eye. Although I wouldn't really call filling the stage with water an attack, even though I just did. That blob, it does obey water physics, so it'll jump higher when there's water around. You can't collide with it, and you can only wall jump off of that red nose part. You can yank that red nose part out with the chain rod to get a good platform to stand on, but then it's harder to dodge the laser, so I just do it that way. Here we've got blocks we can move around with the chain rod to aid navigation. And hey, what are you doing there? This is a no standing zone. Violators will be towed. Haha. Yeah, this stage is all about cool stuff you can do with the chain rod. Those 3 are placed there just so you can drag them into spikes. Hey, you're not an enemy, you're a friend. Let's get you back home. There are 5 of these guys in this stage. Rescue them all for full mission points. And as the first guy said, watch out for traps. This third guy fell victim to one, and now he's stuck in a wall. Not anymore, though. Up you go, and down. Aside from spikes, all that's down there is something we'll be getting in the extras. It's risky, though. I don't need that during the run. Can take a bit of a shortcut here. Mind the ceiling. It's like Dustman, except more imposing and dangerous. This fourth guy could talk about any number of things, but really, he's just glad to leave. Who wouldn't be? let's hurry up. And the 5th guy is down this next pit, right before the boss. Make sure you don't accidentally enter the boss door. Move that just far enough, and down we go. How did you even get here, dude? Come on. Move the block to the left once more to get an easier time getting out, and we're on to the Hyleg Ourobockle. He's got a lot of things he can do, and I'll do my best to explain it all during the run itself. Well, this place looks fancy. That's a very purple cyber elf. Yo, get behind us. You're not fit to battle. You're not Zero. Hyleg Ourobockle, that's the same. Hyleg Ourobockle attacks with mainly in conjunction with his arena, which is cool. His arena does 3 things in order. Oh, you want to start out by holding right, by the way, because he might jump into you otherwise. While his arena is going all wavy like this, he can either jump, lash out with his arms, or stick his arms into the arena to try and inject you with venom. Then it creates a staircase, and then he creates a weird system of blocks that send sparks between themselves. I'll talk about that 3rd one right now. I find the best way to avoid it something like this. The sparks will travel between the blocks in the order that they light up. Then it returns and restarts the pattern from the wavy part. While he's in this first phase, always remember that he can jump into your position at any time, and always be in a position that it won't be a trouble. Okay, so here he can, if you're at an A rank or higher, he'll use his joint laser, otherwise he'll use a slinky. Afterwards, he'll use a slinky no matter what rank you are. And down! One note about the joint laser: make sure you're not standing too close to the blocks as the laser is charging, because that will damage you. Whew! I think I actually covered everything I wanted to say about Hyleg Ourobockle. That is impressive. That was a mouthful, man. Anyway, full mission points, 0 damage. We have cleared Hyleg Ourobockle's stage in splendid fashion. And captured his EX skill. Got ourselves a laser shot, oh yeah. And a cutscene. That's rare. Hello there, Cyber Elf of Real X. We saw you in the first Zero game, but now we know who you are. For super sure. He's given us plot. And Zero doesn't care one bit for your exposition. That reaction is just hilarious. Anyway, that all sounded ominous. Well, not that we can do anything about it, we're at the bottom of the pit. Let's just leave. So yes, the baby elves have a mother called the Dark Elf. That doesn't sound bad at all. But hey, we got them out of Neo Arcadia's hands, so that's good. In fact, we've retrieved another baby elf. We already had the first one, and now we have both. Let's actually head off to CL, not only to save, but to see that if we go to her room now, there are 2 cyber elves in her container. The first one was already a baby elf, and now there's both of them.
Okay.
That's a nice little attention to detail there. Anyway, let's go ahead and save this. There we go. Now there's just plenty of outtakes and plenty of extras. Enjoy!
And the band agreed to end the night. Snake eyes, most precious kind.
There we go. Just like I said, that nose pulls out. But, like I also said, that laser goes in a different pattern, and I'm just more used to using either buster shots or jumping around with the saber. Also, if you'd like some goodies, be sure to hug the wall where Pinocchio was. You'll fall down a long ways and end up in a room with a bunch of, not cyber elves, E-crystals, and even an extra life. No cyber elves actually in this little area, but it's a nice bonus all the same. Just watch your step. Well, golly, those sound like spikes down there. Yep, those are spikes, alright. But there's also something nice. Pull this block out, and just jump to the left as far as you can. Eee. That there was an empty sub-tank. This time you don't actually have to sacrifice an E-tank, or a Cyber Elf to get one. There's 2 of them lying around just in the field in 02. They work just like they did in the X series. Walk up to some health pickup when your health is full, and it'll fill the sub-tank a bit. And then that energy is stored for you to take some whenever you need it. Quite convenient. Let's round off the extras by looking at the 2 EX skills we picked up in the last couple of videos. First off, from Panther Claws, we got the Spark Shot. Equip that EX skill and the Thunder Chip, and then charge up your Buster to full. You'll fire off a ball of electricity, and if you hit an enemy with that one, it'll split up and down. That's a good way for doing some crowd clearing. I'm not really one to use EX skills all that often, so I don't really know much else to say about it, but it's good for clearing out stuff like Chondroids if you're feeling like staying down below, if you can aim it a little better. Lastly, from Hyleg Ourobockle, we earned the Laser Shot. Make sure you have no elemental chips equipped and turn on that EX skill, and you'll fire off a laser instead of your normal charge shot. It has less vertical range, making it harder to hit enemies, and it also does a teeny bit less damage, only 5 instead of 6. But its perks outweigh that. Anything that a normal Buster Pellet would bounce off of, such as these shields on the Ice Lifters, the Laser Shot pierces straight through. Get this EX skill before you come here, and that takes care of the most annoying thing in the stage. It's also very good for piercing Pantheon Hammer's shields, once we find them in later stages, and certain other things down the line. If there's only one EX skill that I'd recommend from this game, it's this. It's very good to have as an option. Anywho, that's it for the extras. On to the outtakes. Enjoy! Chain Rod's gonna see a lot of use here. So, those robot bees are mostly hitting me. Well, that was fast. They take a moment to stop and then swoop straight at 0. Like so. Snatch their pink jaws up into the air. Anytime you are near soft ground, watch out for molecules trying to get in a cheap hit. Whoa! I forgot you were there. Chain Rod's your only way across these next couple of hits. Make sure you know how to... Well, that was a little pitiful. Chain Rod is going to be what we're using to deal with most of the woo. Well, first things first, let's get rid of your shield. And get rid of you. Make that safer. Stand on the left side of this platform here. And just try your best to yank that thing away. I timed that differently and it didn't work out at all. Whoop, there's one more. I forgot about that. And that Securipiter is running off. Pantheon Hammers can also do a ramming attack. Now that I've shown it in the outtakes, I'm under no obligation to show that during the run. Good. Always catches me off guard. Biters, why not? Coming up on the mid-boss here. What's it called again? Pinofiel. That's why I didn't remember it, because it makes no sense. Its weak spot is the eye. Of all things, I find this to be the easiest way to attack it. It helps when my dash doesn't stop dashing immediately, though. Why did that happen? Yeah, if you're doing this casually, you might not want to do it quite like that. If damage isn't a concern, just use Buster Shots. Against all odds, I find this to be the best way to avoid damage. Because if you're dead, you can't be damaged. That works. Do something silly and dangerous like this. You can't actually collide with it. It has those 2 attacks. And I got hit by both of them. Go me! Use a spring afterwards. I'm a little nervous. I didn't see that happen, and it happened. Ah. Dang it, that's... oh well. Inject venom into you. jumping at you, you want to always be prepared for him doing that, so that you can know how you oh, yeah, that was... I didn't think that through. After the fancy spark attack, he'll go back to the wavy. Ah. And then he throws a spring no matter which he just did. Uh-oh. I really gotta think of a way to react to that. It's tricky. And then it goes back to waviness. Oh, shoot! I got caught off guard. Super off guard. That was the weird thing. And then it's back to being wavy. That's what I hoped would not happen. Thank you. That was... I messed up the courtesy that he gave me. No, I wasted it. Ow. Alright, that's 3 down and just 1 to go. Let's see how Hyleg Ourobockle matches up to the rest. I give this stage a 3 out of 10. The stage itself was by no means a cakewalk, but it wasn't really that dangerous. All that really gave me any remotely consistent trouble were the beasts at the start, which can hit you without breaking a sweat if you're not paying attention, and the mid-boss, which really just boils down to I wasn't very well practiced using the saber against it. I'm just more used to using charge shots against that thing. The part that really kept tripping me up even after getting practice was the boss itself. Hyleg Ourobockle has a really cool fight with all sorts of things he can do, but only a few of them are actually threatening. In particular, it's his first phase where the snake is all wavy and he can jump into you that really poses a threat. If you're standing on the snake while it's near its high point, he can crash directly into you. If it's near its lowest point, you'll have to jump instead of just walking or dashing along the snake, and with him above you, that can be a little frightening. So you kind of need to keep in mind that he can jump like that, and always be moving so that it won't be a problem if he does. And not just moving, but also planning ahead. Easier said than done, honestly, but the rest of the fight gives you enough time to damage him that hopefully you won't have to deal with too many problems coming from that first phase. All in all, I really enjoyed this run. It was a fun stage without really anything in the way of being too frustrating. I hope you enjoyed it too, and I'd love to see you back for the next one. Only one boss left for the beginning of 02. That video might take some time to come out, partly just due to the sheer amount of content that stage has. But you can bet I'll be working to get it out as soon as I can. Until then, this has been Cheese. Take care.